Todd and Julie Chrysler will be reporting for their prison sentences on January 17, 2023. Julie is looking at 7 years, while Todd Chrysler is expected to serve 12 years. With their prison time closing in on them, many people are wondering what will happen to the couple. More specifically, will they be able to keep in touch while they are in prison? We've got the answers. Keep reading to find out. Julie Chrysler talks about being separated from Todd. Both Todd and Julie Chrysler were found guilty on charges of bank fraud, tax fraud, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, and conspiracy to defraud the United States in July 2022. They were each given a separate prison sentence on November 22, 2022. In an episode of the Chrysler Confessions podcast on January 4, Julie talked about having to be completely separated from Todd. She knows that there won't be any meaningful contact between them while they serve their separate prison sentences. There is that possibility of my husband and I being separated, but there's a difference between my husband and I being separated for a period of time and having to say goodbye forever, she said. However, at the end of the day, Julie Chrysler says that she knows things could be worse. She acknowledged that Chase Chrysler's fiancée, Emmy Medders, is dealing with a lot of heartache and grief after her father's ALS diagnosis, so I think it puts things into perspective. I know it puts things into perspective for me. We all think our hard is the hardest thing, she said. At the same time, Todd and Julie's daughter Savannah has been charged with keeping things running at home while her parents serve their time. Savannah has become the legal guardian of her little brother Grayson, as well as her niece, Chloe. Will Todd and Julie Chrysler be able to talk in prison? Right now, the exact locations where Todd and Julie Chrysler will be serving their prison sentences remain unknown. Judge Eleanor Ross made recommendations for each of them, taking some of the family's needs into consideration. The judge suggests that Todd be placed in Federal Correctional Institution, FCI, in Pensacola, Florida, and Julie Chrysler be placed in FCI Tallahassee, Florida. Ultimately, the Bureau of Prisons, BOP, will have the final say in where the couple winds up. The BOP also gave In Touch Weekly the specifics on whether or not the couple will be able to remain in contact during their prison sentences. According to the BOP, an inmate may be permitted to correspond with an inmate confined in any other penal or correctional institution if the other inmate is either a member of the immediate family or is a party or witness in a legal action in which both inmates are involved. So it is likely that the Chryslers will be able to stay in touch while behind bars. The extent of their communication abilities is still unknown, though. An appeal is forthcoming in the Chrysler case. The family attorney, Alex Little, has said that Todd and Julie Chrysler will be filing for an appeal. According to Little, there were a plethora of errors, including lies from the government about what the couple paid. For now, the outcome of the forthcoming appeal is yet to be known. Only time will tell what the future holds for Todd and Julie Chrysler. The idea of Todd and Julie Chrysler, the stars of the popular reality show Chrysler Knows Best, being behind bars is a surprising and controversial topic. In recent years, they have faced legal troubles, including allegations of tax evasion and financial misconduct. This has led to speculation about their possible incarceration and the restrictions they might face on communication while in prison. While prison rules and regulations can vary depending on the facility and the specific circumstances of an inmate, there are general guidelines regarding communication while serving time. Here, we delve into the intriguing question of whether Todd and Julie Chrysler would be allowed to talk while in prison. Firstly, it's important to understand that prisons typically grant inmates the right to communicate with their loved ones, albeit with certain restrictions. Inmates are often allowed to make collect calls to their family and friends, and they can send and receive letters. However, these communications are subject to monitoring and censorship to prevent any illegal activities from taking place behind bars. If Todd and Julie Chrysler were to be incarcerated, they would likely have the opportunity to communicate with each other and their family members. They might be able to make limited phone calls, send letters, and even have in-person visitation with their loved ones, depending on the security level of the facility they are assigned to. While in prison, the Chryslers would also have access to telecommunication services that allow them to connect with their attorneys. This is crucial for their legal defense, and these communications are typically protected by attorney-client privilege.